Hola amigos, you hola amigas. What am I doing? What am I playing at? Well, this right now, as you can clearly see, is not the UK food forest, and it is going to be the base of Growing Nature Dos, or Growing Nature 2.0. Because right now, I'm stood on a property that me and my two brothers have just purchased in South Spain. To give you an idea where we are, we're in the Andalusia region, about an hour from the coast, and we're surrounded by perfect nature. This is cork oak forest all the way around, not a house in sight, and you can imagine what I can create here. I'm getting very excited what I can create, because the property itself already has some established fruit trees. You might be able to see an orange tree behind me there. I might show you a few on this video, but really, it's got the foundation to be something amazing. I am still going to keep revisiting the UK food forest. I'm not getting rid of that. I'm going to still improve it and show you over time there, because that is in a way well more established in food production, but this property itself has so much potential, and I'm so excited to get started, especially with the new climate and the potential to grow fruits like oranges. They're already here in absolute abundance. Can't you just have a rest, Luke, for once? Stuff to do, there's always stuff to do.
We've literally only just moved in and Luke's already cleaning the roof.
This is literally...
Can you explain if this is necessary or not?
We've only just moved to the property and I'm already up cleaning the roofs out, because one thing in where we are now, we're in the Mediterranean. Obviously it's dry a lot of the year, but when it rains, it properly rains. So you need to make sure you've got clear paths for the water to run down. And down these alleys here, there's plants growing in the old tiles, very old tiles, very nice style old tiles, but plants can grow in them, so I need to keep them clear, so when it rains it channels. And
you need to do that in your first week of moving in.
I just love doing it. No, I wanted to get stuck in, get everything clean in order. And
you know it is nice most days here, don't you?
Yeah, so I still think we're in a bit of the UK mindset where we're making most of the nice weather. Yeah.
A nice view.
The next job after this, next job is to get that roof there, put some new palm leaves over it to get some shade for the summer. You see I've already chopped the tree down to get the leaves up. You probably noticed as well behind me is the view I've now got to get used to. That is all cork oak forest.
And what about this? Have I got to get used to that?
Yeah,
right on my doorstep.
I'm gonna do all the roofs first, now clean up. But anyway, this is, look at this. Now this is basically from this tree. Oh, I should come for it. So this tree I've been sawed off all the dead branches, and we're using them for the roofs and stuff like that. But this is like the inner part of it. And this is very dangerous, this stuff, you don't realise. That is, look how hard it is, I can't snap it. It's rock hard. I can't even snap it and I'm doing quite hard. And that is like a knife. So if you were to cut that straight off and it was to fall on you, it would stab your arm. So you have to be very careful when you're cutting palm trees like that. So I've been cutting the ends off, these parts, these nice parts, and what we were doing, then we're going to be laying it on top of here like this. Like that. Putting some wire underneath to tie it to it. Doing that all the way around, and then just cutting off the ends. And we've got a nice new shading roof for the summer. Just to give you an idea where we are, we're in the Andalusia region in southern Spain. So there's also new wildlife in terms of the area, as well as new growing conditions. But this is what I've got to get used to. Look at this here. This hole, to get close up to that. Look at that hole. Watch this.
That was good content, wasn't it?
I can see it in there. But last night I came out when it was dark, and that's I think when they're more active. That is I don't actually know the name. It's an Andalusian funnel web spider, and they're about that big when they're fully grown. That one's about that big, and they dart out the hole, attack the prey, and take it back in. And last night I put a little stick out here.
Stick your finger down and go on.
Last night I put a little stick out here, and it came all the way out to it. Although they're not the same as the Australian ones, which are bigger and they can probably kill you, this one does have a very painful bite, but it won't kill you. So that's good news for me for growing, but it's quite amazing. These are protected in this area as well, so you can't actually get rid of them. You have to, I don't want to get rid of them, but they're always hiding in the sinks as well. When there's leaves dropping on the thing and they go under the leaves in the sink, and I almost got bitten yesterday because I'm not used to the area. And I was cleaning some leaves out of the sink and one was underneath and just did a bit of a movement. Anyway, let me finish off cleaning the roof and I'll give you a proper tour of all the gardens to be in the future later. Need a bigger ladder for this. Right. Move that one away. I want to stand on that bit.
Isn't this cheating? You've got a helper now.
Yeah, the reason it's got a helper because it's very difficult doing it on your own.
Why are you climbing it like it's a massive ladder?
Oh, I'm thinking, I've got an idea. Should I not stand on there?
Show where it is. Show where it is.
On the railing?
Show me where it is.
Where's what?
Where I'm putting this thing up. Right.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, that's a good idea. That was a very good idea. Oh yeah, move it forward. Just tilt it to my right.
Yeah?
Push it up more.
I can't push up anymore.
Oh, right, hold on.
I can't even reel it out.
No, hold on. Once we do one, we'll be able to do a lot very fast. We've got to go all the way around. Right, it's round. Pull it down.
Right, I got it.
Get that locked in. This is a job that's going to be done so infrequently, it needs to be done properly from the start.
Yeah.
Upside down looks better to my opinion, Matt. This circle, the stone area, is called an error. Not an error as in a mistake. ERA. And it basically is, it's over 800 years old, this structure. And it was used to basically grind wheat away from its shells and get the seed, the grain, out of all the plants. So what they used to do is used to harvest loads of wheat and lay it out on here, a big circle, and have a mule basically dragging a man on a wooden plank behind it, crushing all the grain onto the rocks, jagged rocks, leave the grain below. And it's basically these go around in circles, and it's very historic. So this structure is a really nice place, and really nice viewpoint in the summer, and sunrise is over there as well. The cork oak forest itself starts just over the valley over there, gradually turns into cork oak forest, and all that way for miles is just untouched cork oak forest. Here though, what's so good about this property, and one of the main draws we had this place, is the fact that down here you might be able to hear it. In the valley there is a river / stream going all the way down the property that is basically spring water, because there's nowhere up there where it's obviously going to be rain runoff as well, but right now, because it's not been raining that much through the season, it's mostly going to be spring water. And this property itself has a fresh spring where all the water comes from, which is just down there, and that's actually hooked up to the property itself. So all the plants, everything, all the water is spring water.
Which one with?
The digger's broken down. I'm on the repair now. I figured out that it's low in engine oil, not petrol, not diesel, but hydraulic fluid, because it was stopping moving. Now as I was reversing after I finished my job, it's just stopped. So I need to get some engine oil. But
go on and show us what you've actually done here.
What I've done, half this path was down the hill there, because basically boars have been along here and they'd basically pushed the path off the edge. So I've just been over here and scooped it all up like that, and put it back in here, and driven over it and trod it down so we can get a quad bike down here.
I was going to say I wasn't happy with you digging up my house, but if you're making a nice smooth path, then
these balls are honestly, the strength is unbelievable. They can move this boulder here, massive boulder, it's very heavy. I can't move it with my hands. That was down at the bottom. They pushed it off the edge just with like, what they do is they put the snouts in the ground and they just rummage through and break everything in its path, and they literally dig up paths like this. So I've just had to repair it with the digger.
yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah, it's looking very good, isn't it? But you know, I need to get the digger working now, so I'm going to look for the engine fluid. First guy in here.
So where did you get a digger from anyway?
Yeah, so that's the bike.
I'm sure you're just trying to get out all the toys, Luke.
Well, I am actually trying to use them
But
to get familiar.
as long as I see some nice new paths at the end of all this
Right,
work,
okay,
then
what I'm
I'll let
actually
you off.
No, what I'm actually doing is I'm cleaning the gutter where all the rain channels down, so that in the next storm we don't have a problem with the water channeling down the wrong area. We want it to go straight down, so I'm clearing all the leaves out, all the debris out, creating piles, and I want them piles of compost, leaves, twigs, all that stuff around the trees, the base of the trees as a big mulch. But the problem is shifting all that with a wheelbarrow would be a big job. So there's a little trailer that goes on the back of this quad bike. So I want you to drive that down there, shovel it in, do big loads, you know, around the trees. But the reason I couldn't get the quad bike down was because the boar had damaged the path. So before doing that, I had to repair the path with the digger, but now the digger stopped working. So now
So after all, it would have been quicker with a wheelbarrow anyway.
yeah, it would have been actually, yeah. Yeah. Alright, engine oil. Right on the tree. Right, here we go. Is this? Oh, I've got to take the end off. Going to really reduce the need to water in the summer months if I put a thick mulch around all the base of the trees, basically like the drip line of the tree. But aside from the watering, putting this around the tree will also fertilise the tree better than anything else, because as it's breaking down into the soil, it's just going to feed everything that's needed to be fed. So I can get bigger oranges. You notice this is olive tree as well, there's some clipping before. Now that is really going to get to work. It's going to help the water stay in the ground for longer in the hot summer months, because there's going to be a barrier on the ground now, so it's just not just going to dry out as quick as the surrounding area. That is really going to help the tree obviously grow. So basically when I water now, or when it rains, there's a lot less need to add water, because there's going to be much better water retention in the soil itself or in the surface, because this is not only going to absorb the water and stay wet, but it's also going to create a barrier underneath, and this is going to take a lot longer to dry out down here versus just bare ground, which will eventually turn brown in the summer months. So that's why adding leaf mulch or whatever mulch you can find and add it below your trees is really, really important, especially in the dry climates. This is just the start. I'm really going to get to work on putting a thick mulch around every single tree in this new food forest, around the established ones and the new ones I'm going to plant.
You know, I'm going to test your knowledge now because I'm going to ask you some questions that even I want to know the answer to.
Alright, go on then.
Can trees live forever or do they die?
That's a difficult one, that, isn't it? Difficult one.
If you take good care of this tree, do you think it can be immortal?
I personally think there's no reason for the tree to slow down producing. If you keep it growing the way it should be growing, give it the right environment, there's no reason it shouldn't get stronger and healthier as the years go on. Like these people who say fruit trees will stop producing after like 20 years, certain fruit trees anyway, you have to replant, I think it's complete rubbish. I think it's a sales tactic, because I've never seen...
It's not a sales tactic. I think that's because they've damaged the soil so much it can't produce anymore. But I'm asking you, you look at you dodging the question. You're dodging the question. I'm asking you, can you make this orange tree live forever?
Right, I'm going to talk from experience. I'm going to talk from experience because even though I'm very, very young, I've never seen a fruit tree start to suffer and decline.
Okay, I'll take that.
I've never seen a fruit tree die, like seen one that needs replacing, other than one that's been badly cared for, both the soil and the tree itself around it.
Yeah, and then something in nature and eventually kills it.
Yeah, I've never seen a tree actually suffer on its own.
What about if it gets struck by lightning?
Well, then it's going to have a whole different story, isn't it? It's going to suffer.
So you believe trees can suffer then?
I don't believe plants have feelings, if that's what you're getting at. Yeah, but you've heard it many times before. Plants, obviously they respond to stimulus and stuff, and they show signs of life and they're living, but they don't have a brain or a nervous system, so they can't feel pain, they can't suffer.
Do they scream when you cut them?
No, but even if it didn't have a mouth, but it had a brain, then you'd think perhaps it's sentient and it might suffer. But the fact they don't have a brain, there's no brain there.
Well, this is a bit of a mouth. This here.
Saying that, some people nowadays have so little brain that they might even come across as intelligent or sentient as a tree.
That's some nice compassionate words there, Luke.
Right.
About humans.
I know. I wish I could be more positive, but some people, you can't help them. That's the way they are.
I would probably trust this tree more than most people.
You know it's going to stick around, it's going to stay healthy.
Stays grounded.
Stays grounded and always gives back.
It's going to weather the storm no matter what.
Yeah. But with that said, honestly though, all these fruit trees around me, I'm going to have to get some serious mulch sourcing. I'm going to have to find some wood chips, leaves in bigger quantities because this isn't going to cover it. This isn't even enough for this tree really, I need more. But one of the plans I've actually got, which will save me finding loads of mulch like this, is actually plant a living mulch. So that basically means having a living plant that covers the ground and acts as its own barrier and protects the soil beneath. The roots really bring in life to the soil, which is obviously going to benefit everything else. But yeah, most of all, they're going to create a nice shaded cover and act as a natural barrier and a living mulch instead of a dead mulch. But both have their own advantages. And obviously, right now you can see there's a living mulch coming up on its own, which is the weed. And yeah, we need to distinguish. We don't have to distinguish between weeds and plants. All of them are doing the same job. Weeds are actually really beneficial because they're coming in when they're needed most to do what they need to do. Like right now, you can see they're creating a nice green covering. But I will also be planting some plants to chop and drop as mulch. So they're kind of like a living mulch, but will create chop and drop mulch. And one here that I've not actually grown yet, that I know grows fast and produces good leaves, is the moringa tree. And that is quite an exciting one as well because they actually supposedly produce electricity as well. So I'll be doing some testing on that in the future when I plant it. I want to see if I can light a light bulb from my own tree. Right, take this trailer off.
So when you're taking this on the road?
And it's not road legal this because of the tyres. If it had smooth tyres, they're more off-road tyres.
You always seem to be carrying weapons about, Luke.
Yeah. It's not even a wood saw. I need to buy a new saw. I need to find one. But that's done some good work today, so was that. To be honest, I've not even finished. I was going to cut up this big tree into little sticks that I can plant. But I might have to wait until tomorrow now. I get a bit tired.
It won't hurt the trees too much, will it?
You shouldn't do, because trees don't have feelings. They're not sentient.
I've heard they do.
They're not sentient. Trees are not sentient.
Exactly.
You know what you've been reading, but trees are not sentient.
I'm just saying that because a lot of people like to use that as a justification for...
Yeah, they do. For eating animals. People who eat plants are also really cruel, aren't they? Because
people who eat meat always seem to advocate for the feelings of plants.
Yeah, that's true.
It's quite a correlation.
You become a plant activist as soon as you say you care about animals. You don't even tell anything to do, like tell them to do anything. You just care. Come on.